Y'all, what's poppin'? It's your boy JP. I got another one for y'all today. We're gonna be tapping in with 10 disturbing interviews with killers. So we're gonna jump right in it. I'm not gonna do too much talking for this one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the kid. Turn y'all post notifications on so y'all know anytime I drop a video. Don't be afraid to suggest any type of videos in the comments, and I promise I'm gonna get them done for y'all. So we're gonna jump right in it and let's see what these killers are talking about. One.
Believe me, if
Isn't
I
this
started murdering
Charles
people,
Manson?
there'd be none of you left.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a look at 10 disturbing interviews with instances where accused murderers chilled our bones with statements or body language during interviews. Did any of these moments freak you out? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. John Wayne Gacy. The Netflix documentary The John Wayne Gacy Tapes did a lot to point out the notorious serial killer's sociopathic tendencies when it came to shifting blame for his accused crimes.
Shoelacing, huh? You're in trouble now.
Yeah, right.
Aren't you afraid sitting that close to me?
This wasn't the first time evidence to that end has come out.
Nah, y'all heard him say, "Oh, you're not too afraid to be close to me." Yo, where he at? He don't look like he in jail.
Huh? You're in trouble now.
Yeah, right.
Aren't you afraid sitting that close to me?
This wasn't the first time evidence to that end has come out, however, as documented by this piece from CBS News 2 Chicago back in 1992.
I don't believe in hitting children. I don't believe in spoiling a child either. My values are such that if you give enough love to the
You're
children.
accused of murdering 33 kids, and you say you didn't
The
believe
fuck?
in hitting.
Interviewer Walter Jacobson doesn't need to do much talking in his encounter with Gacy, as it quickly becomes clear that the former Pogo the Clown is trying his best to present alibi after alibi for his innocence.
Bukovich is not one that I killed, so I don't know nothing about him.
Gacy himself is composed for the most part, although there is a moment where he demonstrates his infamous rope trick with a shoelace that echoes the methodology of his horrible crimes.
And you just turn this, and I says it causes a tourniquet. I said, that's the only knot I ever learned.
Precisely the kind of knot found on the ropes.
Number 9. Ted Bundy.
Nah,
Time
he's
can
wild.
change many things about a person, including
Ted
how they
Bundy
behave while
definitely
being
a famous
interviewed.
one.
The Ted Bundy featured in a 1977 jailhouse interview from KUTV News appears more in line with the suave yet cold-blooded reputation Bundy had among other notorious serial killers.
You feel that everything will turn out all right, that you are...
I'll be honest, I always heard the name Ted Bundy, but I never looked it up or even put a face to the name. Like a lot of these dudes, I mean, unless you really tapped in and be wanting to know all these killers, the name ring more bells than the face a lot of times.
More in line with the suave yet cold-blooded reputation Bundy had among other notorious serial killers.
You feel that everything will turn out all right, that you are innocent. Do you still feel that?
Yeah, more than ever.
He smiles a lot during the piece and displays body language that appears relaxed and almost happy.
He ain't phased at all.
I'm not guilty. Does that include the time I stole a comic book when I was 5 years old?
Bundy keeps eye contact with his interview throughout most of their conversation, and it's easy to become lulled into a false sense of security, which was exactly Ted's
I'm
intention.
not gonna lie, killers be delusional.
If someone's crazy enough and nutty enough to do something like that, I can't stop them. There's nothing I can do.
Fast forward to the night before his execution, and we'll
Oh,
see
they
a
executed
fearful
him?
and pensive Ted Bundy, a man seeking to shift blame for his crimes during his interview with Christian conservative
You're like a whole
evangelist
different
James
person.
Dobson.
There are forces at loose in this country, particularly, again, this kind of violent pornography.
Number 8. Richard Ramirez. The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, may be one of the most frightening serial killers of all time, not only due to the brutality of his crimes, but also the projected aura of what many perceive to be pure evil.
Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he looks scary. He looks scary already, just the way he is. I mean, at least he admitted who he really is. He's like, I am evil, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them be delusional, be trying to cop a plea for, oh, I never did this, or I'm not this type of person they trying to make me out to be. I mean, he honest with it.
Of all time, not only due to the brutality of his crimes, but also the projected aura of what many perceive to be pure evil.
Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil.
It's easy to see why during some of Ramirez's more notable interviews over the years, including one conducted with author Mike Watkis.
Serial killers do on a small scale what governments do on a large one. They are a product of the times, and these are bloodthirsty times.
Ramirez's somewhat tense responses to Watkis's questioning imply a coiled rage, an anger that's also exemplified by the Night Stalker's breathing as he seems to become annoyed with Watkis.
I'll tell you what, I gave up on love and happiness a long time ago.
Why? He broken.
I don't care to explain that. Let the quote stand for itself.
Ramirez is comparatively more relaxed during a piece with Inside Edition, although that interview also hammers home the Night Stalker's obsession with Satanism, evil, and the occult.
What he did?
I believe in the evil in human nature. This is a wicked world, and in a wicked world, wicked people are born.
Number 7, Edmund Kemper. There's something truly bone-chilling about the matter-of-fact way in which the co-ed killer, Edmund Kemper, describes his past in the 1981 documentary The Killing of America.
Everything went towards killing him, and I didn't. But I'm saying, wow, it's uncanny. It was almost like it was meant to be that way, and I said, wow, this got to stop.
Kemper's impressive intellect and well-spoken nature belie the brutality of a man who committed his first murder at the age of 15.
And if it had been in a city, I would have been a mass murderer at age 15. I would have killed until they gunned me down. I wouldn't have been able to reason my way out of it.
The killer...
Y'all let me know in the comments, man. I always wondered, do you think these people that turn out to be killers, do you think that they born this way? Which, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe. Or do you believe that they went through some type of traumatic experience when they was young that triggered something, and they just go on this crazy rampage of just killing people and not feeling no type of sympathy for it? I don't know. I'll be wondering what the hell be causing people to just, go crazy like that. Cause damn, bro, to kill a human, that takes a lot, bro. But they always say after your first one, it comes easy. So I guess that's why they just keep going. You feel me?
Makes a self-referential joke to his modus operandi of picking up hitchhikers by putting on a pair of glasses and asking the camera whether they would get into a car with him.
Now, would you get in the car with this man?
Some guy has special glasses for him.
Kemper's mental state comes across as perpetually active, like a bubbling pot of water about to boil over, while the documentary's exploitative narration pushes the creep factor of this one over the top.
I am an American, and I killed Americans. I am a human being, and I killed human beings.
Damn.
And I did it in my society.
Number 6, Jeffrey Dahmer.
There's
no
Jeffrey
barely
Dahmer.
repressed rage within the demeanor of Jeffrey Dahmer
Y'all
as
watch
he
the
discusses his
documentary
history
on
with interviewer
whatever
Stone
the
Phillips.
series on
And I
Netflix?
acted on my fantasies, and that's where everything went wrong.
Nor are there any wild headline-grabbing theatrics. Instead, Dahmer's quiet and soft-spoken recounting of his horrible crimes lends the piece that much more power.
The only motive that there ever was to completely control a person that I found physically attractive.
There's the power of shock as he discusses the failed attempts at creating, quote, living zombies with the remains of his victims.
The killing wasn't the objective. I just wanted to have the person under my complete control.
There's also the power of how Dahmer's moments of shocking violence are undercut by the killer's regret for the decisions he made, and the futility of what seemed to be a date with infamy and destiny.
Once it happened the first time, it just seemed like it had control of my life from there on in.
Number 5, Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway, aka the Green River Killer, was one of the most prolific of all American serial murderers.
Well, I whipped out my ID, and with my ID would be I'd put my finger over my driver's license to hide my name.
Ridgway was also perhaps one of the most unrepentant, a sentiment that's placed front and center during any of his interviews.
A picture of my son. They would know I was a probably normal person.
Take, for example, one he did with FBI psychopathy profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole, where he very calmly describes how he would gain the trust of his victims.
The only thing that would be better than that would be to have your son in the car with you. That would be an incredible ruse.
That happened once.
O'Toole manages to get Ridgway talking in depth about his past, his upbringing, and the dozens of victims attributed to the Green River Killer's rampage. Number 4, Charles Manson. There has been a wealth of interview footage of Charles Manson released over the years.
It's crazy because I was watching like an interview of this dude. He was on Vlad TV, and he was like one of the top dudes in the Aryan Brotherhood or whatever. And then he was there when they started it, you know. And then he ended up flipping on them and snitching or whatever the case may be because of something that they did. But he was locked up with Charles Manson, I think in Pelican Bay, in the shoe or whatever, something like that. And he was saying that, you know, Charles Manson was actually like a cool dude and that he used to practice in his cell and everybody could hear him like practicing like the character. Cause you know, I've watched like some of his interviews and he do like be screaming and yelling and doing all this stuff, and the dude was pretty much saying that that was all the acting, that he used to practice the way he was gonna talk to the media in his cell, which is wild. Cause he was like, yo, he was never really nothing like that. Like when the cameras isn't there, he was like a normal dude, you know what I'm saying? But he used to practice these acts, so when he get on camera, it could be like organic and shit.
Much of which can be used as evidence for the man's often unhinged persona.
Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like
And there's a lot of that here from this 1987 interview with Today correspondent Heidi Schulman.
I wouldn't do anything that I felt guilty about.
You don't feel guilty at all?
There's no need to feel guilty. I haven't done anything I'm ashamed of.
However, there's also this intent to shatter the myth of Manson as a leader, and this is aided by the visual of Manson's scattershot presence during the interview.
Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people, then I would have felt better. Then when I felt like I really offered society something.
Although the occasionally violent outbursts by Manson have been well documented in this piece, it's the more soft-spoken sound bites that reveal more about the man's own admitted failures and shortcomings.
My awareness and my consciousness is not the same as somebody that goes to school and has a mom and dad. See, not having parents have left me in another dimension, so to say.
Number 3, Ottis Toole.
I like to see a whole city burned down.
This interview with Ottis Toole is the stuff of nightmares. There are a lot of reasons for this too, not the least of which is Toole's explosive bursts of laughter and absolutely chilling smile.
What do you prefer in life? Sex or fire? Well, I like both.
Additionally, there's the explicit nature of how Toole describes his past crimes, and how he and former associate and fellow killer Henry Lee Lucas seemed to easily disassociate the value of human life.
It's just like butchering a hog to a cow. Ain't no difference.
The grainy and blown-out AV quality of this interview footage only seems to add to the feeling of grime and filth left over by Toole's gleeful accounts and delivery.
Ain't nothing to it. Just like drinking a cup of coffee, smoking cigarette. Once you get into the habit, you do it more and more.
Number 2, Issei Sagawa.
で、たまたまそれが肉屋さんの旦那さんと奥さんで、太って愉快なご主人でしたけど、動物の解体の仕方とか肉の切り方とか詳しく教えてくれました。
Unlike the majority of our other entries, Issei Sagawa isn't technically a serial killer. However, this interview footage from Vice is too disturbing not to make our list.
でも彼のおかげで、ロンダにエッチな気持ちっていうか、セクシー。
Sagawa's history and dark deeds are detailed in the documentary, while Issei himself describes the premeditated shooting and devouring of his classmate René Hautefeld while he was living and studying in France.
で、読んで彼女読んだけどどうしてもやっぱりもう普通に話してる時はニコニコして話してて。
Sagawa's obsessions are also detailed in the piece, as well as the legal loopholes that allowed the killer to escape prison time for his actions. Sagawa's quiet and fragile demeanor undercuts his words, all spoken in equally hushed and inoffensive tones. It is a frankly horrifying and unbelievable story.
男じゃなくて綺麗な女性に殺されたい。
So I'd rather be killed by a beautiful woman. It's
Before
my
we continue,
fantasy.
be sure to subscribe to.
Yo, look, these are the type of dudes you gotta really be careful for. All the women out there, them super weirdo dudes that never had a good-looking woman in their life. This shit gotta be scary. I'm telling you, the day you leave them for whatever the case may be, it's gonna be hard on them to leave you. You feel me? You gotta be careful for them dudes.
Number 1, Aileen Wuornos. This interview with Aileen Wuornos on the eve of her execution is disturbing for a number of reasons.
I'm okay. I'm okay. God is going to be there. Jesus Christ is going to be there.
He ain't going to be there with your ass.
For starters, there are the crimes for which Wuornos was convicted, but there are also the stories Aileen tells about her treatment in prison.
They had the intercom on in the room, and they kept lying that it wasn't on, and they were using sonic pressure on my head since 1997.
Her accusations of sonic torment and food tampering speak to her paranoia and mental state during this time.
And then one day I didn't wash my food off, and I was sick for 3 weeks, almost died.
A state that gradually reaches a fever pitch during the interview.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial.
Wuornos' face as she directly addresses the camera is chilling, and the audience can only stare back into her eyes as the condemned killer accuses society of, quote, railroading and, quote, sabotage.
2019, Iraq's supposed to hit you anyhow. You're all gonna get nuked.
Do you
Nah, we in 2022 and we still here, so you lost your mind there. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised as far as her saying, you know, like they was playing games with her and stuff like that inside the prison. I mean, it's prison. A lot of craziness going there. People get tortured, beat on. It's all type of craziness. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video. I mean, overall, I mean, these dudes is all weird, man. Like I said before, my only question is, I just wonder what the hell be triggering like people to just go off like that. Cause man, to take a life, I don't even, unless my back is against the wall and it's something where it's either my life or theirs, I don't see myself just taking someone's life just because of it. Definitely not just going on a rampage and just start killing people just for the fucking love of it. But it's definitely a sign of mental health, for real. Like, that shit ain't normal at all. But I'm off this and to the next one, y'all. Suggest any videos y'all like for me to react to, and I'm gonna get them done for y'all. And yeah,